Welcome back to a brand new Doctor Who review video. I'm pretty sure the last one I did wasn't like amazing, so I'm going to try and increase this one with some proper in-depth reviewing skills, which I'm immediately going to throw out the window. Ellie's in the background. Say hello. From afar. I don't know if Ellie wants to voice any opinions on this episode. We've already talked about it, so I might be stealing her opinions a little bit to put into this video, but that's just how it goes on YouTube. Everyone steals things from people. But yeah, we had the episode today called Demons of the Punjab, and it was kind of preceded by a bunch of by two things. Firstly, I like to read at least like one press review, like the non-spoiler press reviews before an episode, and this one in particular seemed like they felt the episode wasn't too good, and so unfortunately I was going into this episode with a little bit of a kind of preconception about how well it was going to go, and unfortunately that preconception was that it was going to be a bit worse than maybe other ones we've seen this series. Maybe not as badly referred to as the Turanga conundrum last week, but definitely a bit iffy. But also on top of this, I'm part of the subreddit for Doctor Who, and when I went into this episode beforehand, I went onto the subreddit and it showed that people have been reviewing the episode preemptively, even though it hasn't come out yet, on IMDb, and they've been giving it really, really bad reviews, even though they haven't seen the episode. I found that really annoying. Obviously, it's IMDb; it's not quite like Rotten Tomatoes or something, so that's all fine. And I realised that I've actually been looking at a lot of IMDb scores for episodes, and now I get that it's probably not a good tool to use. It's definitely better to go off of the official TV ratings and off of Rotten Tomatoes. But that's kind of how I went into this episode, with a very negative conception of both the episode itself and the community around the show, and just how stupid some people can be. But I can give my honest opinion now that the episode, in my opinion anyway, was a lot better than I thought it would be, and that's even if I hadn't seen the prior review. I felt this episode was a lot better than I originally thought it was going to be, and I really like historical episodes. They're Ellie's favourite ones, so I actually went in looking forward to this episode because I think the partition of India is a really, really interesting time period for the show to go to. Obviously, having Yaz as a companion meant it was hopefully going to be an emotionally filled episode, and we weren't let down whatsoever. Whilst there were some bits of the episode that kind of paced weirdly and jumped around a little bit. For example, when Ryan and I can't remember the other character's name, were running out of the forest, saying we lost the Doctor, and then they turn around and there she is, and okay, that was a bit of a weird thing to happen. There were a couple of other strange pacing things. I felt that Ryan's speech or any of his lines sounded a bit wooden in this episode. Obviously, having three companions to the Doctor, as well as trying to build up backstories for secondary characters, is quite hard because you'll have to scrap lines from other characters. But yeah, I felt in this episode Ryan wasn't used to his normal comedic self. But aside from that, I think the episode was amazing, and the emotions were very high. I mean, Ellie herself cried at this episode, and that's what I take to be a good episode of Doctor Who, or a surprisingly good episode of Doctor Who, are the ones when Ellie gets emotionally invested. I think what was the one, the girl who waited? You really like that one, don't you?
I think so.
The one with Amy and other Amy, the old Amy in the waterfall room thing. Yeah, that one. That's the one you really liked, and I watched it before, but when I watched it with you, I kind of got a new respect for it because I saw how emotionally it impacted someone else. So this episode again made Ellie quite emotionally invested, and I really liked that. And towards the end, because I could see Ellie doing that, I guess it kind of triggered me to be more invested in it too. So I felt this episode, whilst there were a lot of characters that you kind of had to fill out, which it maybe fell flat on a little bit, I felt that emotionally it was really good, and I just enjoyed it. And the main thing helping these emotions flow along was the music. Second has had a pretty good season so far. Obviously, replacing someone like Murray Gold is quite difficult, but he's done it so well. I mean, in the last few episodes, I haven't really been paying attention to the music, but I think after this one, after this episode, I'm going to be listening to the backing tracks a lot more, because the way that he wrote the soundtrack to this episode, it was all using like period instruments, and it worked with the mood and it worked with the setting. Was fantastic, and it really drove these emotions through. It helped drive the twists that you got in the episode, and it just really worked. And especially at the end, with the closing credits, having a kind of a rearrangement of the Doctor Who theme tune was fantastic, and it really just left a mark on the episode and showed what it was all about. And it was all about that time period and how difficult it was, but not in the most forward of way. It was kind of under the radar. And it just makes you think, and it will make you want to go and learn more about that time period. And that's Doctor Who again being educational, but maybe not in the foreground way it used to be. But now it's making people want to go and learn about it rather than learn about it from the show straight away. Yeah, that was a long period of talking with no breaths. I need to work on that. What other things did I like about this episode? Again, cinematography can't be faulted at all. I think it's brilliant. I loved how this series has looked so far. I mean, when Series 10 came along, I felt that there was a massive boom in quality of camera work, but then Series 11 has just blown me away. It's brilliant. Setting was amazing. I can't remember where they actually filmed it. I don't know if they did go to Pakistan or India to film it. I might be completely wrong, but it worked so well, and it was brilliant. So congratulations again, Doctor Who location scouts. What else do I like? So the main villain of the episode, spoilers if you haven't watched it. I mean, if you made it 7 minutes through this video, I'd be very surprised if you hadn't watched the episode itself. But the main antagonist, if you like, at least at the start, were these assassins, this assassin species of alien. And when it started, I felt they really worked because they were barely there. There was so much mystery around who they were because some of the previous characters had seen them before, and they were used really minimally, just appearing and then disappearing, and it really worked. And then I got a bit annoyed that suddenly they've got this other side to them that's changed from the preconception, and Ellie quite enjoys that, but I feel like the whole not actually as bad as you think thing can be a bit overplayed, and in this series I feel like it might be one or too many times. So I did get quite annoyed at that bit, but towards the end it didn't annoy me anymore. The way that the music built, and they were still these aliens were still used minimally, but they were used at the right moments to say the right thing and drive the story forward, drive the camera away from certain points that you don't want to see, and the final shots of them kind of praying / paying tribute to one of the main characters in the episode. It was fantastic, and the music just swelled and really built on that moment, and it was bloody beautiful. So whilst I didn't like the twist at first, towards the end I loved it, and it worked a lot better than in other episodes. So yeah, brilliant. Where it ranks in terms of this series, honestly, obviously this is a very personal thing, so everyone else will have different opinions to me, but I honestly think this is one of my favourite of the series. Rosa's my favourite by far, but I feel like this is definitely ranking at number 2 or 3, which is high praise for an episode that started off with me thinking it was going to be bad. So yeah, and I think Ellie, you rate it as second?
Yeah, but I don't know, in a way it's also like my favourite. I feel like because it was a more personal episode, like it was about the characters themselves.
Oh, that's one more thing. You know, in Rosa, when you see Graham's face react as he knows he's going to have to watch her get kicked off the bus. Watching Graham again in this episode, he's just such a good character. I feel like the things he said is kind of like he's written in to say the right thing at the right time. But when he was doing the whole pre-wedding, putting the flowers over the head thing, blimey, he was like, Bradley Walsh has done an incredible job. Everyone was worried when Bradley Walsh was announced to be in Doctor Who as a main companion, but he's just done it so well, and he's been written so well. and that scene was one of the most emotional of the entire episode. And oh my god, it was beautiful, and it really, really worked. So I'm loving Bradley Walsh, as I'm pretty sure I say every single week. And wow, it was just beautiful to see and gorgeously put together. So well done again. I keep saying well done. It's almost like they're watching this, which they're not. But who is watching this? Let me know in the comments what your opinions are on the episode, how you think it fared compared to other ones in the series. Do you think that the music was amazing, like I do? And yeah, do you think that this was as bad as the press put it? Or not bad, but as mediocre maybe as the press put it beforehand? And yeah, leave a like if you enjoyed, and subscribe to see one of these every single week for every single episode. And I'll see you guys next week for the one about Kablam, which is going to be interesting, but it has Lee Mack in it, and I quite like Lee Mack. So yeah, until then, take care. And I was going to start singing the cover of the Doctor Who theme, but I felt it wouldn't really have the same gravitas as in the actual episode. But yeah, stay safe and toodly pip.